Senior Life Journeys presents Carol Howell's Let's Talk Dementia, a podcast designed to help caregivers find knowledge, power, hope, and smiles in their dementia caregiving journey. Welcome to Let's Talk Dementia. Here is your host, best-selling author, Carol Howell.
Hi everybody, I'm Carol Howell. Welcome to Let's Talk Dementia. Today I'm going to start with going over some notes from a class that I recently took, a class called Alzheimer's, the Science of Prevention. Special thanks to Dr. David Perlmutter for putting these classes together. It was 12, 13 sessions, I can't remember which, but I have 50-some pages typed notes from that class, and we're going to go over all of them. Well, maybe not today. We're not going to go over all of them today, but it is information that I want to share with you in the weeks to come. But today we're going to start with a few statistics. Now, I got to tell you, I'm not a statistics kind of girl. I like words, not numbers. That's why I write books rather than balancing the checkbook. I do balance the checkbook, but I don't like doing it. But here are just a few numbers for you to contemplate, if you will. Alzheimer's is at an epidemic level in the United States. It is crazy when you think of the number of people that are affected directly by the disease within themselves. But then we don't know the number of people who are affected as in caregivers and family members and friends. That is a number we don't know, but it is huge. But we know that there are at least 5.5 million people in the United States that have Alzheimer's. Now, I have told you that there's lots of types of dementia. Alzheimer's is just one of them. 5.5 million people in the United States with Alzheimer's. 40 million people worldwide. Now, you think about 40 million people. They've got family and friends. They've got caregivers and co-workers and neighbors, all who are affected by that one person. You know, there is no solitary man. You know that poem called The Solitary Man. There is no solitary man. We all affect others, either positively or negatively in our life. But when Alzheimer's becomes part of our bodies, it affects other people. We know that every 3 seconds, as if 30 seconds would be good. 3 seconds is horrendous, but every 3 seconds someone is diagnosed with dementia in the United States, with Alzheimer's type dementia. $250 billion a year in the U.S. spent on care for individuals with Alzheimer's. $1 trillion spent worldwide. We're expected to have 15 million people with Alzheimer's by the year 2050. Now, I remind you, we're at 5.5 million now. That number is to triple by the year 2050. Folks, that's only just over 30 years away. That's not that long. It is the fastest growing epidemic. Epidemic. This is no something on the back burner that people sometimes experience, or you just might know somebody who has it. No, it is epidemic proportion. It is the third cause of death in the United States. Now, I can tell you, when I started my business about 10 years ago, I was told it was the 6th cause of death, and I didn't even realize until this class it had moved up to the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States. It is the number 1 cause of death in the United Kingdom and in Japan. How crazy is that? There was a 123% increase in mortality in the last 15 years. Every family will be affected by Alzheimer's within the next few years. If you think you're not affected by Alzheimer's right now, then I would like to recommend to you that you're not paying attention to the folks around you. You are not as involved in the lives of your family members and your friends as maybe you should be, because I can tell you it's everywhere. Everywhere I go, I can pick up on people who have dementia. Now, if they have Alzheimer's type dementia, I can't tell you if it's that or not, but I can tell you that I can pick up on people who have dementia. I can tell by the way they interact with their families, often how they walk or how they move, or how they have to have somebody help them walk or help them move or help them sit down. And you know, it's not a physical issue. It's very concerning. So the question is, what is causing this? Why are we at an epidemic level with Alzheimer's type dementia specifically? Well, there are a lot of reasons. Changes in the environment, what we do for our body, what we don't do for our body, what we put in our body, what we don't put in our body, what we put on our body that we should not be putting on our body. Inflammation in the body, in the gut, in the brain, inflammation anywhere in the body, inflammation, there's a direct connection. I've told you before, it's not this kind of connection. It's a direct connection to Alzheimer's. Diabetes is a huge problem. And more we're seeing younger people with diabetes, direct connection, again, diabetes and Alzheimer's. I don't know, I'm just so taken by the fact that in our world we think, well, if I knew what to do to prevent Alzheimer's, I'd surely do it. Well, I bet you won't. I'll just bet you won't, because it's not the comfortable thing to do. And this class really enforced that for me. And we're going to talk about that in more detail. We know not sleeping well increases your chances of Alzheimer's. We know that not eating well increases your chances of Alzheimer's. Not getting out and moving yourself, right? Not getting sunshine. It's just incredible what happens when we don't do the right things for our body. So we go to the doctor and we find out we're diagnosed with diabetes, okay? And the doctor says, if you don't change your diet, you're going to be on insulin. Now, some of us will be scared straight and we'll start eating right. And all the sugar's going to go out of the house and we're going to load up on all the greens and the vegetables and we're going to get that diabetes under control and go back and the doctor's going to say, you're in the normal level, everything's fine, you're no longer diabetic. Some of us will go back and our numbers will be higher because we just didn't believe it. It's just not worth the effort. You see, I've got to have fill in the blank into, apple pie and ice cream. I've got to have my chips. I will not give up my sodas. No, you will give them up one day. I'll guarantee you that. The question is, will you give them up at a point? Will you make the changes at a point to bring about the healthy results in your body that you need, that your body's craving, and that you don't even know how much better you would feel if you did? Will we do it? But from what I see, I'm just going to tell you, most of us are not going to do it. It is not simple, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you it is. But I have spent the last 20 years of my life learning to eat healthier, and I do much better than I've ever done. I do weigh 100 pounds less than my all-time high. Still got weight to lose, and I feel like it will never leave me. I hope one day it will. But my eating habits are healthier than the average Joe. And my eating habits have changed since finishing this class. And we're going to talk about that in the episodes to come. And I know you can hardly wait. You're going to go, oh, gee, she's taking all the fun out of my world. But I'm going to tell you what's not fun. What's not fun is looking at your mama and her not knowing who she is, who you are, or who she is. That actually happened with my mom a couple times. She didn't know who she was. Who am I? Where am I from? That is the hardest thing. And then watching them pass from a disease that robbed the brain, that's awfully hard, y'all. And when I weigh, do I want ice cream or do I want Alzheimer's? It slaps me in the face so strong lately. There have been a couple of times I've thought, I should just go eat something I really want. I should go get ice cream. I just really want ice cream. And I do. I mean, my name is Carol and I'm an ice creamaholic. But then I think about Mom in her last days. Do I want that? Oh, HE double toothpick? No, I do not want that. Is there something I can do to drastically reduce the odds that I will be in that position one day? Yes, there are lots of things I can do. And one of them is, Carol, step away from the ice cream. Ugh, why does it have to be that? How come I couldn't step away from the Brussels sprouts? Because I don't really like Brussels sprouts anyway. Or better yet, the beets, which I ain't going to eat, right? Step away from those. No, that's not the way life is. But you go to the doctor and you find out you have cancer. And he goes, we're going to remove your breast. And then you're going to have to go through chemo and radiation. We'll do that junk. We'll do that. But we won't give up the junk that's going to kill us. Well, I'm just here to preach to you a minute. We got to change. And I love y'all for listening to me. And I'm thinking probably some of you are not coming back tomorrow. And I'm sorry for that. Because I have good information for you. I have hopeful information for you. I have never felt more hopeful about my health for the future, the health of my family, than I do since completing Dr. Perlmutter's classes. Now, wasn't always what I wanted to hear. It's cost me a little bit of money. I have discovered organic vegetables that just cost more. I think my brain's kind of worth it. If someone had said to me, Carol, your mom's brain will be restored if you bought organic cucumbers and tomatoes and apples and whatever. Oh, holy cow, I would have been all over that. Well, you're sort of kind of being told that now, because we're going to stop. We're going to stop this epidemic of not taking care, of not being aware of what we eat, what we do, how we move our bodies, how sedentary we are, what our sleep is like, what our social lives are like. There are things you can do that will change your entire inner workings of your body. And there is no one system in your body that stands alone. They are all connected. So what affects your belly affects your brain. What affects your heart affects your brain. Everything. You know, the Bible talks about that the body is more than just one part. There's all the parts of the body. And the eye can't say to the toe, I don't need you. Or the toe can't say to the eye, and I'll pluck you out. No, we are all needed to bring about, all those parts are needed to bring about this human body working together. Well, we got to take care of the whole body. And that might mean you need to get up in the morning and go walking. I'm just saying. Yeah. And don't eat that cereal with sugar. And don't go to that lady coffee restaurant that might start with a star and end with a bucks. And get that, I don't know, what are they called? Cappuccinos. I don't buy that junk. I do have good news about coffee. It's not that kind of coffee. You'll be surprised at my news about coffee. Not helping me any because I can't have coffee because of caffeine. But actually, coffee's pretty good for you. Probably not the way you drink it. Isn't that the way of life? Well, I hope you're intrigued maybe. I hope you're not mad at me. I hope you'll come back for our next episode. And we're going to pick up right there and go through some more of my notes. And I want you to leave with the same hope for the future. We can change things, y'all. It's just a matter of, are we going to? See you tomorrow.
Let's Talk Dementia would like to thank our sponsors, National Association of Veterans and Families. You can reach them at 800-352-2919, on the internet at www.navf.org. They speak veterans so you don't have to, and you tell them Carol sent you when you call to inquire about benefits for the veteran, the spouse of the veteran, or both. Editor Beth. You can find Ms. Beth Crosby at editorbeth.com. She is amazing at looking at what you've written and making sure it represents you well. Find her at www.editorbeth.com. And HD Imports, located on Flint Street Extension in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's York County. 803-985-0985. They are there for the repair and maintenance of your Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, Kia. Tell them Carol sent you.
Thanks for joining us today for Carol Howell's Let's Talk Dementia. To learn more about dementia, we recommend Carol's best-selling book, also titled Let's Talk Dementia. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle versions. Be sure to like Let's Talk Dementia on Facebook and leave us a kind word of review on iTunes. Remember, knowledge brings power. Power brings hope. Hope brings smiles. And we all need more smiles. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll be right here when you come back to Let's Talk Dementia.